The Denver Broncos were officially sold this past week for a total of $4.65 billion to Walmart heir Rob Walton, which we did say he was most likely going to buy the team. And I really think, if the Broncos went for $4.65 billion, then a team who, like the Rams, like the Chargers, or like the Cowboys, would be more in the upper echelon of 9, 8, 9, 10 billion because of the areas that they are located in. But I am impressed that the Broncos were able to get $4.65 billion. The Rams have been hard at work as Kupp got a new contract. 3 years, $80 million. 3 years, $80 million. $75 million guaranteed. The highest guaranteed contract for a wide receiver in NFL history. How do the Rams do this? Well, I can't explain the best way. So I would have you go on the Pat McAfee show and Andrew Brandt. Andrew Brandt was a former executive for the Green Bay Packers. He explained how teams like the Rams, the Cowboys, the Chargers, the Rams, Cowboys, these big time teams in these big places are with a lot of money, and now the Broncos and Carolina Panthers can do this too, how they can pay so much money over the cap. Well, I would go watch that video because he did a great job in explaining it, and to the point that I actually understand it a lot better. But I'll give you the quick rundown. Due to the fact they have so much money, and due to the fact of getting it in new money, the way the salary cap is structured, as long as they put money for this year, the next year, and then add voidable years, they can pay over the cap. So there's contracts like the Deshaun Watson contract is completely over the cap money. It's bonus heavy, and it's the contract they legit pay $1 million on their salary cap, and then they pay over the cap. That's what they do. And a lot of teams have done that where they've had voidable years. You know, we made a joke about it last week when Akeem Hicks signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we said that was 1 year, $10 million contract. That could easily be a 10-year contract with 9 voidable years on it. Easily. A lot of these owners are starting to get smart on how they can do this. We get the best players for the cheapest price. More contract extensions. Hunter Renfrow got a contract extension. 2 years, $32 million. I mean, alright. It is the way it is. You had to pay Derek Carr, you had to pay Devontae Adams. You brought in Chandler Jones. You don't really have that much money to roll around in. As I did just say, though, they paid over the cap. Some news that came out, and I don't know if anyone really heard about this. Jason Garrett is replacing Drew Brees on Football Night in America. That is the Sunday night football pregame, halftime, and postgame shows for NBC. He's taking over Drew Brees' spot as Drew did not want to do it anymore. And I understand Drew's frustration. When Drew got brought in, he was told within a year he would be given the color job, and Mike Tirico or Al Michaels would be his partner. That's what he was told. And then all of a sudden they pay Chris Collinsworth. So now, and Al Michaels leaves. So Tirico's going to get his spot, but I'm not going to get mine? That I was promised? Why would I be here? To do Notre Dame football games and sit in a studio and Connecticut for no reason. It's like a complete waste of time for me. Being there from like 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, or 11:30 at night Eastern Standard Time. There's no reason for me to be there. And so he decided to go in a different direction. Now, supposedly he's still up for the Fox job. He and Mark Sanchez are battling that out, but right now Jason Garrett, who's a smart guy, went to Princeton, is now replacing Drew Brees. He's going to be at the table. It's going to be Maria Taylor, Tony Dungy, Jason Garrett. Some Cowboy news. Rico Dowell, their third wide receiver, third running back, mostly a special teamer, got his knee scoped this past week, so he won't participate in minicamp. In mandatory minicamp. Why is this important? Well, I'll give you a reason. The Cowboys have yet to find a good kick returner. Now, they have a kick returner, they don't have a punt returner. And Rico Dowell was supposed to be that guy that they were going to bring in that had a little bit of experience in doing it. Now he's going to be behind with a stacked running back room that the Cowboys do have. Speaking about running backs, the Cowboys' Tony Pollard was playing some wide receiver. How did this happen? Don't look into this. This is not important. The Cowboys are so banged up at wide receiver, they had Tony Pollard start playing in the slot a little more. Because CeeDee Lamb had an off day, a veteran off day, which happens. That's nothing to be scared about. Michael Gallup still coming back from his ACL injury. James Washington has tendonitis in his foot, so he's not practicing. So this is logical. But the Cowboys, for last year, they tried to put Tony Pollard in the game with Zeke. They didn't go fully that way. They stayed conservative later in the year. But don't look into this. This is just to see what happens if there is injuries at the wide receiver position. Both Lamar Jackson and Robert Poyer, not Robert Poyer, excuse me. Lamar Jackson reported to camp today as he was in the building. Jordan Poyer, reports to Bills camp, but also he's looking for a new contract in 2022.